Welcome to JHart Modelworks. In this video on the Lamborghini Miura by Hasegawa, we're going to be focusing on the engine and rear suspension. Welcome to my workbench. Let's get started. Alright guys, so before we begin on the engine and the suspension, I did make an attempt at working on the slats for the front of the Miura, and I did make an absolute mess of it. It is an absolute glue bomb. So I'm going to get some acetate and try and strip this down and see if I can't find a better way to put this together. If I can't get this to start going in right, I'll probably just use the plastic parts from the kit, because this is a freaking nightmare. There are 27 of those slats for each one of these, and there's 2 of these. There's one for each side of the car. I don't know how people do photo etch that's this small. I just really don't. So for right now, it's dropped in here. I'm gonna get some acetate and put in there. Hopefully I can get that apart and try again. I have a whole lot of parts to go through. Everything has been painted. We have our chassis in here. I did hit this with just a light dry brushing with some Vallejo silver, just to kind of bring out some detail in there, and then some flat aluminum by Tamiya for the bottom of the engine. And also I cut this open. These were solid. They didn't look like they're supposed to be solid, so I went ahead and cut that out and opened that up. I was thinking that was the rear for some reason. It didn't dawn on me till later, so I opened that up so I could get a better look into the rear, but it's okay. We have the engine components themselves, and these are just the ends of the engine. These do not glue together like that. It's not a block. These are literally just the left and right sides. LP38 flat aluminum over a black primer of our drive shaft. We have the rear, so it's kind of like a bulkhead. That's the back of the frame, which again I just hit with some dry brushing just to kind of bring out some highlights in there. And we have our belts. We have the top of our engine, which I have gone ahead and wired the spark plugs on, because once I start gluing the carburetors in place, it will become very difficult to glue those in. So I went ahead and marked those out and drilled them and wired all those spark plug wires. I did actually run all 12 of those spark plug wires down in through that cover. That's actually a cover that sits over the distributors. Those 2 inside Lamborghini decals on the valve covers, I had to make those myself, as the first time I tried wiring the engine, I scraped those off. So I just made a set of my own. They came out pretty good. And with the wires over them, you can't, I don't think you'll notice anyhow. We have the coolant reservoir. I've gone ahead and added a overflow on here. I used some of this medallion bead stringing wire. This is actually like a bronze. I didn't really like the color, but I didn't really have any copper wire that was the right size, so I actually ran that, got it into shape. It does not hold its shape very well. And then I sprayed it with some alclad copper to get that copper look. We have our carburetors, which the tops of these are in alclad chrome and the bottom is in that pale gold from Zero Paints. And then on that fuel rail right there, I did that using the Molotow chrome pin, and as you can see, I've not been handling this at all, but it's already lost a lot of its luster and has gone kind of a dull silver. And then on top of those we have our air cleaners. Sit on top, something like that. Next up we have our exhaust which I just used the Alclad exhaust manifold, and then I did a bit of stainless steel from AK Extreme Metal for those mufflers. I really like the color for that exhaust manifold. Kind of a coppery bronze to it. When the paint separates, you can really see that there is some copper pigment in there. Next up, we have our fender wells. These will get glued on once the engine is assembled. Next, we have the shocks and the upper control arms. We have the shocks that we built in the previous video for building better shocks. And finally, we have the uprights for the rear wheels. And we have the brakes. Let's paint them in semi-gloss black. Masked off the brake calipers and sprayed them in LP48 sparkling silver. Then used my Display Circle Cutter to make a mask for the disc and painted the centers in gunmetal. No, that's Alclad steel. That's not gunmetal, that's Alclad steel. Which is a really good color. So that's all of our parts. We're going to go ahead and get everything laid out, and we're going to get this assembled. Well, the plan was to assemble everything on camera after showing you the individual parts. But at least half the footage is out of frame and totally useless. I've tried editing it to get what I could. I had like an hour and a half's worth of footage. It was honestly a horrible waste of time. I spent like my entire weekend off trying to edit the footage to get it to fit. It just did not work. I'm horrible at this building on camera, but we're going to go ahead and skip to revealing the completed assembly. So we have our spark plug wires in there. We can clearly see the spark plug wires. We have our air cleaners. Now it's important because these are the exact same part, but you want to make sure that you get the decals go in the right direction. Hasegawa doesn't show you that these go like this, but my reference pictures, looking online, the wording on these faces the opposite direction, so that's how I put them in. We have our coolant reservoir with a little bit of copper wire. I just kind of bent that, kind of glued it in place here and there. This area back here, it should be open on the rail car. That's the space between the frame and the engine. So I just drilled a hole and ran my cooling wire down there. Like my copper tubing is what that would be. Another thing that we did was we added some, I forget what size this is, but this is braided line from ProTech that I glued into place, and I glued those to the ends of the fuel rails. That's the fuel line. I'll just kind of stub that off to the side because you're not going to see any of that. These fenders go on separately. After they're like the last pieces you put on are these two. Mistakes were made, and one of the mistakes I made was I dry fit the engine, the top of the engine in place, so that I could line up and glue this back piece in. This is the back of the engine frame, and you glue that in place, and then I immediately glued the engine cover in place. And you absolutely do not want to do this. You need to get the entire suspension, so you need to get the uprights and the upper control arms in place, and you need to get the shocks put in place as well, because these shocks tuck up into the bottom of that upper engine assembly. The only reason I got away with this is because I completely rebuilt the shocks, and when I did, I made the shocks compressible. So because of that, I was able to squeeze the shocks in, tuck the shocks into the upper engine cover, and then press them with a pair of tweezers. I was able to basically lift and press it to the point that I could slide the little nub, the locating nub, into place. And these aren't even glued in place. I didn't even put any glue on them. They're really clean without any glue. They hold themselves in place perfectly. But if you have not modified the shocks and made them compressible, you absolutely do not want to put this in before you build the suspension assembly. Get this suspension in there first, then glue this in. After you glue this in, then you do your side fenders, but make sure you don't jump ahead like I did. You've got your exhaust, which again I did the Alclad exhaust manifold, which is a perfect color. It's got like a tint of coppery to it. It's got a hint of gray in it. It's a really nice color. And then there's stainless steel for the mufflers. I went ahead and drilled out the ends. When I was looking at this and planning out this build, I was going to replace the ends on the body. I was going to replace the exhaust tips with just some aluminum tubing, which is what I typically do, and I was going to glue it straight in here. Hasegawa has these little nubs on the body where you're supposed to glue the exhaust tips in, and I thought that was just basically Hasegawa being, kind of lazy, and you just glue these on afterwards. But looking at the actual car and reference pictures online, this is how Lamborghini did it. The exhaust tips were completely fake. They weren't attached to the exhausts at all. The exhaust stops right here. The clamshell comes down, and just these fake exhaust tips are just kind of snugged close to the end of these exhausts. And when the clamshell tilts to open the clam to work on the engine or whatnot, the exhaust tips tilt down with the body. I was kind of stunned when I saw that, but that's literally how Lamborghini did it on the car. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with Hasegawa's exhaust tips and just glue them onto the body like they should have been. We also added in just a little bit of 2mm wire. There's a little hose that runs through here, so I just went ahead and kind of stubbed some wire in there. It's 2mm wire from Hero Boy. Can't think of too much else that we did. We got our brakes in place. There's a poly cap that goes on the inside of here, and you want to make sure that you line up because there's a large tab at the top and a small tab at the bottom. And then there's kind of like some little grooves on the back side of the brake that line up with that. So you want to make sure that you line up the right disc with the right side of the car. And that's what it's going to look like, dry fit inside the body. You will be able to see those shocks to some extent, I think. Depends on where the wheels sit. You can also see through the engine bay slightly. Through the rear mesh. And this is just dry fit. You still have to build the front suspension and finish off some of the body work. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. Also, feel free to leave comments, feedback, critique, or anything else in the comment section below. I enjoy interacting with all my viewers in the comment section and try to reply to all the comments I receive. If you want to catch future videos, please consider subscribing to my channel and make sure you click the bell notification icon so you can be notified when I upload new videos. As always, thank you for watching, keep modeling, and have a great day.